name is Kristina Story, and today we will be discussing the anti-literacy laws that were passed in the South. Do you know what the anti-literacy laws were? It's a privilege to sit in a classroom, especially our Black students, to be able to sit in a classroom. Laws many years ago were passed so that we would not have the privilege to be educated. White slave owners did not want slaves or free Black people to learn to read or to write. Between 1740 and 1867, anti-slavery laws were passed that prevented Blacks, whether free or enslaved, from learning to read or write. The Nat Turner Rebellion led to more suspicion. Slave owners began to be suspicious of slaves, thinking that if they learned to read, if they learned to write, that this would lead to uprisings, it would lead to rebellion, and it would lead to them being against slavery. Slave owners believed that Blacks, whether free or enslaved, that learned to read or write would cause more problems for slave masters. Despite the consequences, and there were severe consequences, if slaves were caught learning to read or write, they could be punished by being beat, or they could be sold to other owners. Despite these risks, Blacks continued to learn to read and to write. This is evident in the fact that schools began to continue to prosper and spread throughout the South in spite of these anti-literacy laws. There were some white slave owners who even looked the other way. Surprisingly, they allowed their children to teach slaves to read and write because they understood that there was an economic advantage for them if slaves learned to read or to write. Although anti-literacy laws began to be abolished in 1867, there's still much work to do. This is evident in the Brown versus Board of Education case that is passed. There was a lot of work done during the civil rights movement that helped to pass laws for equal education for all students. There's still much work to be done as we consider anti-slavery laws that were passed over almost 200 years ago compared to 2024. There are still problems with equality and equity in our schools, so it's important for us to keep and to continue the fight to make sure that all students are afforded a quality education.